Okay, so we're going to talk about what happens after you have a call on your calendar. So by this point, you should have ran your Facebook ads. You've implemented. Let's go back. You should have completed your credentialing training. Okay, if you haven't done that, of course, I recommend you go back, do that. This is way too far in the process for you for now. You should have completed your training. And even if you go through it a few times, so you understand it well, if you're supplementing with additional resources, you can do that as well. That's all recommended so that you can become a valued voice in this industry and with your clients. So definitely finish that training until you understand it as well as you possibly can before actually you're servicing your first client. The next thing you would have done was you would have implemented the client generation system we've given you, turn on your Facebook ads or whatever that looks like for you, and started to bring in leads into your business. They went through your sales funnel, which we'll talk about in a minute, which is your website, and they have scheduled a call on your calendar. And so now we're at the what next portion. What happens now? And there's a bit that happens now, so let's just kind of go through it. What do you do when you get that first appointment on your calendar? The very first thing you're going to do on this pre-call phase is you're going to do your research, okay? And the first thing you want to do is look at their intake form, look at their calendar confirmation. And the calendar asks them a few questions. And one of those questions are, what insurance companies are you with already? And what that'll help you do is that'll give you the information to then go online, find out what insurance companies are in their area that they're not with, so you know what the solution is that you plan to prescribe, right? So you're going to figure out who they're with, and you're going to go to every single insurance company in that state, and you're going to get on the phone, give them a quick call, and make sure they're actually accepting new enrollments. This process probably take you about 15 minutes. And then depending on how you're targeting, you kind of have a running list of who's taking new providers. But this will allow you to come to the call informed and then get in a consultative type mode so that your prospective clients will feel confident that you know everything you need to know to service them well. So that's going to be your first thing. And then after that, you're going to visit their website. You're going to learn a little bit about them. You don't have to know all that there is to know about them, but get some little nuggets and some things you can take away that you can weave in later to build rapport on that sales call. So that is your pre-call homework, okay? Now, when you get on the call, the first thing that's very important to understand here is not to become attached to the outcome of that call. And this can be hard for people, especially when they're just starting out in business. It's hard not to be attached to the result or feel like, man, I really have to close this sale. I really need this money. When you bring that energy to the call, even if you don't physically feel like you're showing it, the client and the prospect, they pick up on that. They pick up on that air of urgency, that air of desperation, and it repels them. So you really have to get to a point that you're not attaching yourself to the outcome of that call, and you're simply going through your sales cycle. Okay? And it's important that we look at calls from a data perspective. The calls are you collecting information so that you can start to plug in and know what your business needs to bring in to meet your income goals. And we're gonna unpack that in a moment, what that looks like. But calls are data for sales tracking. Okay, calls are data that gives us the information we know we need to collect to know how to build our business. So let's look at what the sales funnel looks like, and so you can kind of understand where we're going here. So let's pull out our whiteboard. And let's think of this as a funnel. a reverse, a funnel, right? And this is our funnel. And you're going to start by implementing our client generation system. And we recommend that you're working and you're using Facebook ads as soon as possible. LinkedIn is there to give you a free and cheaper option, but the way you're going to build that predictable and scalable revenue is to be using Facebook ads. So we're going to assume that you have your client generation system in place using those ads. Okay, and so let's say you're going to bring 1,000 people who see your Facebook ad. They just see it and they're interested. Okay, these are people at the top of your funnel. And then a portion of these people who see your ad, they click over, they're going to get to your website, which is serving as your sales funnel, and they're going to give you their email to access the video. So we'll just put access video. Once they do that, they're a lead, and you can market to them via email until they unsubscribe. So this person is already in play, even if they don't make it down the rest of the funnel right away. Then a portion of those people who access the video are going to go ahead and schedule a call, right? So let's break it off. Let's say 1,000 people come to the funnel, and out of that, let's call it 200 people. We'll go ahead and give you their email address, okay? And there's going to be a natural drop-off rate. As you can see, the funnel gets smaller and smaller as you go down. That's all natural. So 200 people are going to give you their email address. And out of those 200 people who watch the video, read your page, they're going to come through and schedule a call. And so let's say 10% of those schedule a call, right? And then out of those, some of them are going to become clients. And maybe that's just let's be very conservative. And so let's say, you're not great at this at first, and you can close 10% of people. So that's 2 people. So then you need to bring in 1,000 views to 200 people opting in, 20 calls, and 2 people will become a client. So let's look at that another way. You have, out of those 20 calls, get on the phone and 10 people tell you no before you get 1 yes, okay? So after a point here, you're going to be gathering data. You're going to start a spreadsheet, and that's going to be part of your homework. I want you to start a spreadsheet, your sales tracking sheet. Every conversation you have, plug it into the sheet. The dates, the person's name, the outcome of that call. Yes, no, 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 no. What's going to happen is you're going to find out that you need 10 yeses. It takes you 10 no's to get 1 yes. Okay? And so when you're on that call, you're simply plugging through to get your 10 no's that you need to get your 1 yes. All right? And if your income goal is $10K a month, and you charge an average of $2,500, then you need 4 yeses, right? Which means you need 44 calls, which means you can go plug back up how many people who watch my video become calls and how many people who see my ad watch my video. And it just becomes simple data, simple numbers. And you don't become attached to one individual, one provider. You're not giving off this air of desperation or urgency. It's simply a numbers game. And once you start to do this, you plug it in, you're converting 10% of people, and you get better, and you're converting 15% of people. And so it means, every 7 people tell you no, and the 8th person tells you yes. It becomes a complete numbers game for you. And you're never tied to any one person. And you always know exactly how much money you need to spend to get how many people into your business, to get this many email leads that you can market to forever, right? So even if they don't become clients today, that person might become a client 3 months down the line. And how many people you need to get on the phone, and how many people you need to get to talk to before you get that yes. And then it's just you plugging through. You know, if it's 4 yeses you need every week, every month, then you know you need to talk to 11 people every week, if that's the way it shakes out for you. So it just becomes 11 calls a week is all you need to meet your income goals, right? So it's that simple. So look at it that way, and don't come to the call depending on this one person to meet all your needs.